everyone. Today we will discuss about some of the important question and the answer that are actually important for the NEET PG point of view. Over here, remember, before going into the questions, in the part 1 we have specifically questions about the osteology of head and neck. So make sure that you read the osteology of the head and neck before going into the question. Now over here, try to answer the questions by yourself, and of course I am going to give you the answer. So just try to answer the questions by yourself. First of all, the hyoid bone in the neck is at C3 vertebral level. Cricoid cartilage in the neck is at C6 vertebral level. Upper border and the notch of third cartilage corresponds to the C3, C4 vertebral level. Third cartilage in the neck is at C4, C5 vertebral level. Skull is basically made up of 22 bones, out of which 8 are cranial and 14 are the facial bones. Structures passing through a pituotympanic fissure are the choriotympanic nerve and the anterior ligament of malleus. Now what is lateral incisive foramina? Now these are basically 2 in number and present in the lateral wall of the incisive fossa. Over here, remember, this foramina basically leads to the nasal cavity through the incisive canal, and the greater palatine vessels and the nasopalatine nerve basically passes through the lateral incisive foramina. Now next is, what is medial incisive foramina? Now these foramina are also 2 in number and present in the anterior and the posterior walls of the incisive fossa. Now over here, remember, the left nasopalatine nerve basically passes through the anterior foramen, while the right nasopalatine nerve passes through the posterior foramen. Now what is palatovaginal canal? Now these are actually located between the sphenoid and the palatine bones and connect the nasopharynx with the pterygopalatine fossa, and it contains the pharyngeal branch of the maxillary artery and nerve. What is pterygoid canal? Now this canal basically connects the anterior wall of foramen lacerum and to the pterygopalatine fossa, and over here the Wheaton artery and its associated nerve passes through it. What passes through the tympanic canaliculus? Now over here, tympanic branch of glossopharyngeal nerve basically passes. What passes through the mastoid canaliculus? Auricular branch of vagus nerve basically passes. What is Arnold's nerve? Now this nerve is actually present in the lateral wall of the jugular fossa, and over here, remember, auricular branch of vagus nerve is actually known as the Arnold's nerve, and Arnold's nerve is also known as the Alderman's nerve. What passes through the stylomastoid foramen? Facial nerve, stylomastoid artery, which is actually a branch of the posterior auricular artery, is actually passing through the stylomastoid foramen. Which is the largest and the strongest bone of face? It is the mandible. Mandibular foramen provides passage to the inferior alveolar nerve, artery and the vein. Now next is, what is the angle of mandible in the children, adults and old age? So over here, in the children it is about 140 degrees, in the adults it is about 110 degrees, and in the old age it is the same as in the children, that is the 140 degrees. Now next is, what is the position of the mandibular canal in children, adult and the old age? So over here, remember, in the children this particular canal is located closer to the lower border of the mandible bone. In adult it actually runs parallel to the mylohyoid line, and the old age it is closer to the upper border of the mandible bone. Now over here, you may know that the mental foramen actually leads to the mandibular canal. So if in the exam it basically asks that what is the location of the particular mental foramen, so you can write the same answer over here as the mandibular canal. Okay. Now next is, what is the location of the choroid process in the children, adult and the old age? So in the children it is above the condyloid process, in the adult it is below the chondroid process, and the old age it is actually above the condyloid process. Now what is the difference between the mandible of the male and the female? So over here, remember, in the males the mandible is actually larger and thicker as compared to the females. Females are comparatively smaller and thinner mandible. Males have more height of body, while the female have lesser height of the body of the mandible. In the males the angle of the mandible is everted, while in the females it is inverted. Mandible ossifies in the membrane and cartilage. Mandible is basically derived from the first brachial arch. Orbital surface of the maxilla has canal for infraorbital nerves and vessels. Infratemporal surface of the maxilla has foramina for posterior superior vessels and nerves. Now next is at the birth, which structures are of adult size? So over here remember, tympanic cavity, tympanic membrane and the ear ossicles are of the same size of the adult at the birth time. Now next is zygomatic bone ossifies in the membrane. Which feature of the zygomatic bone is seen in Mongolian races called as the os japonicum? It is the horizontal fissures, sometimes divides into upper and the lower half, and this feature is actually same, or we can say seen in the Mongolian races called as the os japonicum. What is typical feature of the cervical vertebra? It is the foramen transversarium. Which cervical vertebra are typical cervical vertebra? It is the C3 to C6 cervical vertebrae are actually the typical cervical vertebrae. Joints of the Lashka-Unko-vertebral joints are seen in the cervical vertebrae. Spinous process of cervical vertebra is bifid. Shape of vertebral foramen of cervical vertebra is triangular in shape. Lingual artery forms loop above the greater conua of the hyoid bone. Superior surface of the posterior arch of the atlas is related to the vertebral artery and the first cervical nerve. Now what are the features of the cervical first vertebra? The C1 is also known as the atlas. They have no body or spine. They have long transverse process, and over here the superior articular facets are concave and elongated. Now which cervical vertebra has odontoid process? Over here remember, cervical 2 vertebra has the odontoid process. Spine of C2 is bifid. Now what is the difference between the transverse process of C1 and C2? Over here remember, the C2 has small transverse process without anterior tubercle and C1 has long transverse process. Now vertebral artery passes through all the cervical vertebrae except which cervical vertebrae? Foramen transversarium. This particular vertebral artery doesn't pass. So over here remember, through the C7 vertebrae foramen transversarium, vertebral artery doesn't pass. Through all rest cervical vertebrae, the particular vertebral artery actually passes through the foramen transversarium, but except C7 it doesn't pass. Now what is carotid canal? Now this canal is located on the inferior surface of the petrous temporal bone and contains the internal carotid artery with sympathetic plexus around it and emissary vein which connects the pharyngeal venous plexus to the cavernous venous sinus. Now next is the spine of C7 is long and non-bifid. Most commonly fractured cranial fossa is the middle cranial fossa. Now the largest fontanelle is the anterior fontanelle. Most fragile bone in the skull is the ethmoid bone. Metopic suture is present in the frontal bone. Crista galli is a part of the ethmoid bone. What is bregma? Bregma is actually a sutural junction between the frontal and the parietal bones. What is necessary for the tooth formation? So over here remember, dental lamina, membrana preformativa and the dental papilla are actually important for the tooth formation. Now two halves of the mandible unites at symphysis menti at the first year of life. Tooth root attachment to the alveolar sockets is known as the gomphosis. Now next is the lingula, is the process seen in the ramus of the mandible on the internal surface. Sagittal suture is present between the parietal and the parietal bones, means we have two sides of the parietal bone, means right and the left, so in between these two sides there is the sagittal suture present. Structure passing through the foramen rotundum is the maxillary nerve. There is a branch of the trigeminal nerve. Widest cervical vertebra is the C1 vertebra. Cervical vertebra with thickest spinous process is the C2, cervical 2 vertebra. Fracture of the pedicel of the C2 or cervical 2 vertebra is known as the hangman's fracture. So today up till here only, we will discuss about the questions of the further topics in the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.